Hello! As I'm sure most of you are aware, the MLS season has just returned for its 2023 season. Yeah, there's quite a few nice kits in here, so I thought, you know what? We'll have a look at what home kits each team is repping for the 23 season. The way MLS do things is a bit different to say like the Premier League or La Liga, where teams will carry over one shirt from the previous season. So a couple of these home shirts are from 2022. I think most teams, by the time you see this, will have played at least 2 matches, so there's a good chance we'll have seen both home and away kits. Also, all kits are made by Adidas with some sort of like sponsorship with the MLS, so just their replica and authentic thing is criminal, quite frankly. I mean, this is a replica shirt, this is an authentic shirt. Why are there 2 shirts with one that is arguably much worse? Just sell the one shirt, which is supposed to look how it's supposed to look like, you know? Anyway, let me get into ranking these MLS home shirts. We've started from the bottom, 29th, I'm going all the way up to 1st. I'm going to start with Vancouver Whitecaps, and I really do not rate this at all. It's not an absolutely terrible shirt, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not a fan of it, personally. I don't like it one bit. Then move on to Nashville SC. This is Nashville's homecoming kit. It's a very plain shirt. It's just mostly yellow with a bit of dark navy trim around it and on the side panels. It just feels like a lazy design from Adidas, and sometimes they just don't put the effort in because there's no competition. Saying that, it's not an entirely lazy shirt. There is a very cool design on the side panels, which is like a Soundwave graphic pattern inspired by the club crest. The Soundwave graphic is a very nice touch and does a lot of heavy lifting for the shirt, which would probably be bottom without it. Let's not lie, it is just a yellow shirt at the end of the day. And then move on to Toronto FC. Now this one, it ain't great. This is the one heart, one beat kit, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. The black and dark grey hoop design is something that I'm not a fan of, but the use of red is nice. It's a nice red colour they use, so that's something I guess. This was designed to be a nod to the 2017-18 season in which Toronto won the treble, so you know, pretty good season for them, but I think that kit was better personally. The side seam of the kit also has like a Soundwave motif on it, which is a nice touch, but it doesn't really save the shirt. The sponsor also detracts from the shirt as well, which is a trend we're going to see in a lot of MLS shirts. So all in all, not a great shirt. And then move on to Sporting Kansas City, and this is the Hoops 4.0 shirt as they call it. So, can you guess what the design is? It's not a terrible shirt at all, but it is very plain. The shirt is a light blue base with 6 thin blue hoops on the front. The collar has a button, which is a nice touch, and it gives it a few marks, but there's not really much to write home about. It's a cohesive design, and all the colours work well together, but it's just a bit boring in my opinion. I'm sorry Kansas City fans, if any of you are watching at all, which I highly doubt. And then move on to DC United, and this is their home shirt. It's just a black shirt with red accents on it. It does have stripes, to be fair, but they're black on black, which creates an interesting look, but you can't really see that on the shirt when people are playing in it, so does it really matter? The red accents do create a nice look, but I can't help feel that the shirt could have been better if the white Adidas branding was red too. You know, I think just a simple little change would have made the shirt a bit better. It is a very simple shirt, but the sponsor does detract from the design too. It's an alright shirt, but I can't help feel that it could have been better. Maybe next season they'll get an absolute belter. Then move on to FC Dallas. I'm not really sure what it is about this shirt, but I'm really not a fan. It's a predominantly red shirt with blue fading hoops on the front. Now, hoops have never really been a design I like, but Dallas's take on it is unique, to be fair to them. The sponsor they've chosen to go with doesn't look great either, but that's sort of a theme for MLS kits, as I've mentioned. So it's an alright shirt, but not really one I'm fond of. There's quite a few hoops shirts this season, so yeah, I wasn't thriving. And then move on to Seattle Sounders. Now, Seattle Sounders are known for having one of the best kits in MLS. But with that, they also have these stinkers as well. And this is one of their not so good ones. To be fair to Sounders, it is a unique design. Very interesting too. I mean, the history behind it, you know, it's dubbed the Legacy Green kit, with design being inspired by a fan mosaic from their second title in 2019, which is a brilliant basis for a design. I'm all for like fan-linked designs. You know, Nottingham Forest, we've got the Trent Bridge, which the fans walk over match day to get to the ground. So, you know, I'm all for things like that. The green and blue colour scheme is very interesting, but somehow it just works on this shirt. We don't see enough green kits, to be fair. I guess it's not really a colour you can do much with when the pitch is also green, so you kind of need to maybe not look like the football pitch, and maybe that's why people don't use green so much. Who knows? Maybe I'm just waffling. But yeah, it's a decent kit. The sponsor does detract from the design, though. It doesn't really fit the overall design of the shirt, in my opinion. So that does detract slightly from the overall ranking I've given it. So it's not a terrible kit, but not great either. And then move on to Austin FC. Now this one's alright. Now I think this design was majorly let down by the choice to use white Adidas stripes in the shirt. Now looking at the design, I understand why they used white ones, so it would stick out across the black and green base of the shirt, but black ones would have worked so much better. You could have simply altered the design to make the black stripes fit and keep them visible while they're playing. It looks like a Barcelona kit, but that was made by Nike, obviously, and is inspired by the different voices of the Austin community, which is named the Las Vacas kit. Overall, it's a very interesting design, but the white honestly detracts majorly from it. Other than that, it's not a terrible shirt, and perhaps I'm being too harsh on it, but the white really throws it off in my opinion. I do know white has been used on Austin kits before, and I know it's probably part of their colour scheme, but I just think it wasn't the correct choice for this season's shirt. There could have been ways they could have implemented white better, to be honest, looking at the shirt, but the way they've done it this season, I'm not really a fan of. And then move on to New England Revolution. And this one's okay. It's the first time their new logo was seen on a kit, and to be fair, that does look okay too, but the old badge was iconic. As someone who doesn't really associate with MLS, I knew who New England Revolution were because of their unique badge, you know? Anyway, but we're here to talk about the shirt, not the logos, so let's focus on this so-called Liberty kit. It's quite plain. Rather than having a plain navy shirt, the entire shirt is covered with an embossed pattern where squares are filled with subtle, thin lines, which does look decent to be fair. I feel like the shirt could do with some more red on it personally, but the white used in the Adidas branding also works well on this kit, especially with the white sponsor as well. Yeah, it's an okay shirt. It's a cohesive looking shirt, but it's just not really exciting, you know? When you want a kit, you want it to be sort of exciting, you know, something you can get hyped about, and this shirt doesn't really do that for me. Then again, I'm not a New England Revolution fan. I'm more of an Old England kind of guy. That was a terrible joke. And then we want to Maxwell's team, and it's Charlotte FC. Now this was the inaugural kit for Charlotte FC. And to be honest, it's a bit of a letdown. All I see when I look at this shirt is a palette swapped Arsenal template, and that's because it's pretty much the Arsenal shirt from 2019. This was dubbed the Carolina kit, and to be fair, it is decent. The thing that stands out to me most though is the massive sponsor, which I think majorly detracts from this overall shirt, but it doesn't look out of place if that makes sense. Like the white, it fits with the design of the shirt, but it's just massive. Why is it so big? This shirt brings together North and South Carolina on the jock tag, which is a nice touch. Jock tags, you know, they're something that are pretty prevalent in the MLS, and I quite like them, to be honest. I wouldn't be opposed to them coming to the Premier League. I think they're a very cool design piece that can really, you know, tie into the community that the club's supposed to represent. So I think that's quite a nice touch, to be honest. It's an okay shirt, but also disappointing as the inaugural shirt for their MLS campaign. They could provide something more unique and more special to Charlotte or Carolina as a whole. But hey, maybe next year we'll see a belter. And I hope we do. And then move on to Colorado Rapids. Now this is a very interesting shirt. Firstly, it's dark red, but it looks brown to me. That might be because I'm colourblind, who knows. But hey, the dark red and blue actually looks quite nice together. I'm a fan of the blue colour they've used. I think it's quite nice, and it looks good against the dark red. The main design of the shirt is a subtle print on the front depicting abstract mountains from the city of Denver. It does look fairly classy, to be fair, but other than that, it is a fairly boring shirt in my opinion. It looks okay, but there are some far better kits out there this season, and there were last season as well. And then move on to the Chicago Fire kit. Now forgive me for saying this, but the Chicago Fire shirt is not fire. This is the so-called water tower kit, which is just mostly a navy blue shirt with a subtle design throughout the jersey that mimics the intricacies of the water tower's architecture, hence the name. The water tower is a well-known landmark to the residents of Chicago, and it does look pretty cool, I can't lie. I must admit, I do like the design itself, but the shirt is just too plain for me. The navy and red colour scheme looks decent, so it does work well, but it doesn't really save the kit in my opinion. It's just okay. And then move on to Inter Miami. This is probably one of the more famous MLS franchises over here in England because David Beckham obviously owns it, and I think Phil Neville is the manager as well, so you know, some English connections there. And Inter Miami continue their trend of having quite plain home shirts with this pink number. Now this is the Heartbeat kit, which has been inspired and designed for the fans. Not sure what that really means, but we move. Maybe it actually does hit home with the American fans, to be honest, because I'm from England, I'm over the pond, I don't really get your vibes. So maybe this is inspired by the kit and the community and whatever. And the overall shirt is quite clean. I think that's what Inter Miami, they have quite a few clean shirts in their locker. They are quite plain though. So there's a fine line between clean and plain, I feel. But yeah, overall it's quite clean with this pale pink and black design. You know, it's a nice colour scheme. It goes well together. The cuff features an EKG line, stylized lighting in M, which I think is a very nice touch. Having a collar is also very nice, and it just upgrades this shirt a bit in my opinion. Just adds a couple levels to it really, because if this didn't have a collar, it would probably be bottom of the pile. It's a very plain shirt. So yeah, we just leveled up because of the collar, and we're going to level down because of the sponsor. An awful crypto sponsor. I don't like it. That's all I can say. Go back to the collar though. The club motto, Libertad para Soñar, freedom to dream, is written just below the collar. Overall, it's a very clean but plain shirt, and the sponsor, while fitting the colour scheme, really detracts from the shirt's design. Personally, I just can't back it any higher than this. And then move on to FC Cincinnati. Yes, another shirt ruined by the sponsor, but other than that, this kit actually does look quite nice. This is the so-called River kit in homage to the Ohio River, and you know what? I dig it. The shirt also features different elements that showcase this landmark from Cincinnati. The colour scheme of the shirt also works well together, you know, royal blue and navy. Very nice, and the orange accents make for a very nice looking shirt. And this also ties in with the badge as well. The white of the Adidas and the sponsor also work decently due to the presence of white in the badge. All in all, a decent shirt. Now, at time of recording, this was only a leak, so I don't know the full aspect of this shirt. I don't know its full design. I do believe this is Montreal's third new badge in as many seasons, and to be fair, it's probably my favourite of the badges. It's in stark contrast to last season's all-black home kit, which, you know, I like the snowflake design on there. I thought that was quite nice. But this Montreal shirt is mainly blue with a subtle stripe graphic on the front, closer to previous kits. It's nice to see how teams tried to change up the classic stripe design, and this one looks decent. I mean, you can't really do much with stripes. So, you know, fair play for Montreal for trying. The only qualm I have are on the shoulders, and it's the white stripes again. I think they'd look better in black. And then we go to American Man City. Yes, this is New York City, and it's a surprisingly nice shirt. It will always be hard for City Group teams to shed the yoke of Manchester City, as they are one of the most successful clubs, you know, domestically at least at the moment. Especially if you're like me and you're from England, you know what I'm saying, they're the top dog at the moment. So saying that, this kit does have a nice unique design to it. This is the Interborough kit, inspired by the melting pot of cultures that comprise New York City. The mosaic design on the front of the kit is inspired by the ceramic work of the New York subway stations and spells out the letters NYC. This kit takes its colours from the flag of NYC as well, also including the city blue colour, and you know what, they all work well together. While it does feel similar to a Manchester City kit, they are building their own identity, and this shirt is a good step in doing that. I like it. The mosaic design they've gone for is really nice. Yeah, it looks decent, you know. You know, there's elements of a Man City kit in there, but it also looks unique to New York City, so fair play. And then move on to Columbus Crew. Now, at first viewing, I thought this was just a plain yellow shirt, and it was lower on my rankings initially, but having a better look at it, you can see a subtle isometric design within this. This is the gold standard kit, and it looks decent, to be fair. On the back is a unique Crew 96 logo. Now this represents the hashtag Crew 96, which commemorates Crew's standing as the first club in MLS history. It also features an Ohio jock tag. I thought that was cool. Having black as a secondary colour is a cheat code, as it once again looks really nice on this shirt. It was also the first kit with their new logo, which I think works really well with their design. Very solid shirt all in all. And then we move on to Houston Dynamo and their Minecraft Lava shirt. This is Houston Dynamo's El Sol kit. Meant to celebrate the team's past, we're looking forwards towards a bright future. And although I memed it saying it looks like Minecraft Lava, I do quite like the design. The orange colour scheme is supposed to celebrate the energy, light and guidance sourced by the sun. Very wholesome. And the black accents look really nice and work really well with the kit's main orange colours. But again, black is a cheat code. While sponsors normally ruin kits, this one sort of works. It's a good sponsor which focuses on treating cancer, which is something very admirable, so that's nice. And it's in black, so it sort of works with the rest of the design. All in all, it's a very decent shirt, Minecraft Lava kit. And then move on to Portland Timbers. And this Portland Timbers kit has grown on me, I must admit. It's a dark green shirt with golden yellow accents, and I must say this colour scheme works really well together. The plaid design is very unique, and I don't think any other team could have pulled it off better than Timbers. Their colour scheme just lends well to this sort of design. The colour scheme works really well with the Timbers badge. Even the white used on the sponsor and with the Adidas branding doesn't feel like it detracts from the shirt too much. While I would have liked to see it maybe a different colour, I can live with it being white in this shirt. And it's got a cool jock tag design as well, which is something I've really found an appreciation for, as you will have heard. And then move on to Orlando City. Orlando City received a very classy kit this season, known as the Wall Kit, in reference to the safe standing supporter section in the home stadium. This is the first time that the shirt comes with gold logos, which look great. Combined with the purple, it's a very classy and almost regal feeling shirt. It also features a very subtle design across the front of the shirt, designed to look like a wall, which, you know, sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. This shirt features a tag on the back of the neck which reminds the fans to man every wall, a long-lasting club rallying cry. This is one of the fancier shirts in MLS this season, and I think it's one of the few that the sponsor doesn't ruin. It actually works quite well with the rest of the kit's design. Orlando City, I think you smashed it this season. And then move on to St. Louis SC. Now, I feel like this may be a very rogue shout from me, but I really like this kit. I don't know what it is about this shirt, but there's just something about it that I like. It's their inaugural season in MLS, and it's a very striking shirt to make your debut in. The shirt features a geometric pattern inspired by the steel plates of the Gateway Arch, as well as a modern interpretation of the flag of the city of St. Louis. The flag also inspired this kit's colourway, which is, I think, a nice touch. The pink, yellow and navy colours work really nicely together. I especially like the yellow accent colours. I think they're very, very nice on this shirt. It's the sponsor which drags it down a few marks, as while the colour scheme works, it does detract from the overall design of the shirt. But it's not a bad sponsor though. I'm all for Cats. It's a very nice shirt though, lovely inaugural kit, and honestly I think St. Louis City might be my MLS team this season. Up the city, I don't know what they say. And then move on to Minnesota United. Now this is the so-called night kit, and I must say, it looks quite nice, and is a very welcome change from their grey blue kits of previous seasons. Black is a cheat code when it comes to colour combinations, as it looks great with almost every colour, and the light blue is no different. While the sponsor is very white and bright, it works with the badge, and is surprisingly one of the better sponsor implementations in the MLS. The shirt also features a subtle striping pattern, which adds to what would otherwise be a very plain shirt. The blue accents on the shirt are what really sold it to me. They complement the black really nicely. Very solid shirt. And then we move on to Real Salt Lake. And this shirt looks very much like a Spanish home kit. And for a team named Real, it's very much on brand. This shirt is quite plain to see it feature so high on this list, but the design of the shirt is very cohesive and just creates a very nice, very pleasing to look at shirt. This is dubbed the Believe kit, in reference to Brandon Steinerkurt's Believe, which is loved by the Real Salt Lake fans apparently. This design took inspiration from the 2009 kit, in which they won the MLS Cup. Overall, this is a very clean kit, and although it is reminiscent of a Spanish kit in my eyes, the last Spanish kit was very clean. I rated it very highly in my World Cup video, so that's a compliment if anything. And then move on to New York Red Bulls. Now I'll admit, I'm not the biggest fan of what Red Bull has done with football teams, but for America, it kind of works. This kit has been designed in collaboration with luxury sportswear brand Daniel Patrick, and the design they've created does look really nice. Now while it's a huge departure from the normal Red Bull kits, I do like it. There's a greyish blue colour used throughout the shirt, which looks really well with the pale yellow. It's just a nice, interesting looking shirt. Also features subtle NY detailing, which is a very nice touch. It does remind me of the Leeds away kit though, which does drop it down some marks because I don't like Leeds. And then move on to LAFC. Now LAFC smashed it out of the park with this one, and whilst it isn't my favourite of the kits, it still looks class. The Art Deco design pattern that features across the front of the shirt looks amazing, and it's also a homage to the kit of 5 years ago, where a similar pattern could be seen, but this has been taken to the next level, which I feel was a good choice. It looks great. The use of the gold on the kit also works really well with the colour scheme, but most importantly, the centralised crest fits perfectly within the design of the shirt. Wonderful stuff. You can tell they took their time with this. They actually made sure the badge was actually central within the design. It's lovely, but not the best this season. So yeah, we're in the top 4 now. We got some real heavy hitters here, and probably the weakest of the 4 is LA Galaxy. Now LA Galaxy know how to make a banger of a shirt, and this one is no different. The stars on the collar and the cuffs of the shirt are probably my favourite aspect of this shirt, and it really fits in with the Galaxy name. This was also supposed to represent LA as the city of stars. It all came together to create a really nice, clean, classic shirt. Honestly, the collar stars are doing a lot of the heavy lifting for this shirt in my opinion, because I love them so much. I just think it's a really nice design touch. Having stars as part of your kit's design theme is a cheat code as well, especially when they're stylized like LA Galaxies. It does look really good. And then move on to Atlanta United. Now this is a thing of beauty. Same colour scheme as this Venezia shirt, coincidentally. I didn't really realise that, but this is a kit with gold, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. While Adidas didn't do anything crazy with the stripes, and they kept it simple for the most part, the design looks really nice. Black and red is already an established colour combo, and just adding gold ties the whole thing together. This is known as the 17s kit, which is dedicated to the club's supporters, with the number 17 symbolising their maiden campaign. And honestly, this shirt looks brilliant. It is very nice. You know, they haven't really done much with the stripes, as I said, but you don't have to all the time. You can make a cohesive design, just keeping the stripes standard, and that's what they've done. It looks wonderful. Black, red and gold. Very nice colour scheme, as you can see. And then move on to Philadelphia Union. Now Philadelphia Union, you smashed it. The colour scheme used for this shirt is lovely, and surprise surprise, it's another kit with gold on it. The light blue stripe looks really nice on the dark base, and the use of gold on the shirt works really well as well. As with most MLS kits though, the sponsor does ruin the shirt somewhat. I mean, why the fuck do you have Bimbo written on your shirt? What? It's just an interesting sponsor choice, okay? But at least it's in gold, at least it sort of fits with the rest of the design of the shirt, but again, the sponsor does drop you down from being the top kit this season. And that's because top spot goes to San Jose Earthquakes. This is a belter. There's no way around it. This is the best shirt this season. Obviously, got 22 shirts in there as well, but this shirt is the best. I'm a really big fan of the pattern and the colour scheme. Now maybe I am biased because I love the colour blue, but this shirt does look class. Now, yeah, it is a template. To be fair, this is the same one as Real Madrid's away shirt, but it looks far better in black and blue. Just look at it. What a design. Oh my gosh. If I had to get one MLS kit from this season, it would be this one. It's phenomenal. But St. Louis City, despite not being second on this list, would be a close second because, you know, they're my boys, apparently. But yeah, San Jose Earthquakes, you absolutely smashed it this season. While it is a template, the use of colours, absolutely brilliant. Lovely shirt. 10 out of 10. You've won it for me. So yeah, that has been my MLS 2023 home kit ranking. You know, I know they take over kits from last season, so some of these kits are from 2022, but they're still home shirts. They still get to go up against these shirts. So you know what? I think it's fair game. But yeah, a lot of brilliant shirts this season. You know, some very unique designs as well. I've been O2GT. This has been my MLS kit ranking. I will sort of be keeping up with MLS, but not really because the matches happen at like 1 AM in the morning and I've got work and stuff, so I can't really watch those, but I can always catch up on the results, you know, watch the highlights and stuff, so I can sort of get involved. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Peace.